Brown with Cajun Cardboard, coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with another mail day number 71. As always, I'm showing you cards as they arrive at my PWCC vault. So I've got uploaded high def front and back images of all the cards that came in today. It's a Jordan start to finish, and we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new Jordans that were added to the collection. But believe it or not, one of these has already been moved along. I actually bought it for a collector friend of mine who I knew was doing battle. He was waging war on the PSA set registry to be, get this, #1 in the world on the PSA set registry for the Jordan master list. So the great at Northeast Sports Cards has picked up a card, and I was absolutely happy to help. It's a card that didn't mean much to me, but I bought it knowing I could move it on to him for right at exactly what I paid for it. So maybe the great Northeast, maybe the great at Northeast Sports Cards, Josh will owe me a favor, but he paid fair market value for it, but I knew he needed it, so I picked it up. So one of these cards is actually going to be on the move. So after you see it, it'll probably be in his collection by the time you watch this video this weekend. So first card that I picked up is, as you guys know, I'm pushing into this PSA 8 Jordan collection. I'm pushing more and more money. It's a great time to buy Jordan PSA 8s. The prices are relatively low, certainly in comparison to 9s and 10s and 9.5 BGSs. So a lot of PSA 8 flavor on this video. The first one's a 1997 Finest Refractor, number 271, sometimes referred to as the Showstoppers. This is a Jordan Refractor. Good looking card. The coloring looks really good to me. Doesn't look like there's any greening on the front of this card at all. If you look at the back of the card, it just pops. It's yellow. It's got some edge wear up here at the top. I'm guessing that has a lot to do with the PSA 8 grade because the front looks immaculate. It looks impeccable. It looks really good. I can't tell if that's on the card. That looks like just the white jersey of an opponent standing there. So at first it looked like maybe some edge wear, but it's not. It's a great looking 8 copy on a new PSA label. So I just think it's a really good looking card. Again, this is card number 271, so it's the common refractor. There's actually another refractor within the 1997 Finest set that we'll look at it another time on another mail day, I am sure. So that's card number 1, a PSA 8 refractor. Number 2 is the 1995 metal scoring magnets, card number 4. Sort of an off the radar, affordable, relatively affordable. Certainly in PSA 8 it's affordable card. Beautiful card on the front. It's kind of got that's actually kind of a red and kind of a dull green, almost like an 80s type. You know, a lot of the interior of houses from the 80s were like light green and pink, believe it or not. I know a lot of you guys are too young to remember that, but I'm old as hell, so I remember. There's the back of the card. Just a good looking card. In general, great looking action pose of Jordan. Sort of looks like the alien Jordan that we see on the Hoop Skyview card, but not quite as alien looking. I've actually got another shareable link here with all of my scoring magnets. So as you can see, I've got the BGS 9.5 scoring magnets. I've got the, which is probably on hold for my good friend Zach Rome, who appears on the channel on a weekly basis. He's collecting Jordan in BGS 9.5 almost exclusively, so that will be held for him because I've got the PSA 10 down here, and then this would be my second copy of the PSA 8. Just one of those Jordan cards where I don't mind stacking a few duplicate copies. I had an opportunity to pick up another PSA 8, so I did it, just kind of moved on with it. So those are my 4 scoring magnets for the time being. The PSA 10 obviously is not going anywhere anytime soon. That's a relatively big card. And then the next is a 1995 Finest. Again, why is this a PSA 8? Well, it's obvious. It's off center like a mother. If you look at the left and the top, clearly bigger than the bottom and the right. So this card's super off center. I've never paid particular attention, and again, without coating. That's the way I like to collect. Do I have refractors with coating? Sure, I do, but I prefer to buy them without coating so they refract. This card just looks better when it refracts. That's the purpose of the card. The coating says peel me, so it's peeled, and that's the way that I like to collect it. There are old school collectors out there and some new school collectors out there who prefer it the way it came out of the pack with the coating. That's fine. To each his own. There's a million different ways to do it in this hobby. But I've never paid close attention. Look in the background, these little kid-looking drawn images that say shooting guard. That's really cool. I've never really paid close attention to the background. I've always kind of been hyper-focused on Jordan and the fact that, you know, this was around the time where he decided to bulk up and his arms are giant. I mean, he's got great-looking arms in this picture, right? That's one thing that I will acknowledge. But a good-looking PSA 8 copy of this Finest card right there. There's the back of the card. Again, clearly off center in the same way that it was on the front. That's card number 229 in that finest set. And so that is the next card on our list, another PSA 8 refractor. And so then we move on to the 1994 Emotion Intense. This is a really cool little insert set, I think. It doesn't say anything on the back. It's just two pictures of Jordan, Flair style, right? That's kind of how the Flair cards were. Usually two images of the player. But this is Emotion Intense. It's kind of got that gold vibe. I think this card's personally a little bit overpriced given how easily obtainable they are and how high the pop is, but that's just my personal opinion. I do have the pairing complete, so I've got the PSA 10. PSA 10 you see right there, and then of course I've got the PSA 8 that you're looking at on your screen right there. So that one's put to bed. I don't feel the need to pick up duplicate copies of the 10 or the 8. I love the card. I like the set. We're going to talk about it soon on the channel, but and I think I've done a feature, believe it or not, on Explore the Card, which is an episode that I do every Friday. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon for notifications if you want to know when those episodes drop. They usually drop on Friday. Well, they always drop on Fridays, and they feature a different Jordan card where we really dive in. Like on these mail days, we're just kind of touching, cursorily, in a cursory nature on the cards here and there, just talking a little bit about aesthetics, none about the history, and sometimes about the price. Those Explore the Card episodes on Friday go into great detail on each card. The next is the 1996 Ultra Full Court Trap. This is my second PSA 8 copy. It's super cheap. There's a gold parallel as well. It's called the Ultra Full Court Trap Gold. But this is just the regular, and features Jordan in the black and white pinstripes. One of the rare cards that features MJ with his full-fledged goatee mustache combination. But this one's an 8. It's got some whitening on the edges. Hard to hide any whitening on the edges or corners on the back because there's so much black on the bottom, two-thirds. I mean, on the right two-thirds of the card. So not easy to hide there. Good-looking card from the front. Noticeably PSA, not PSA 10 on the back. So it's card number 1 in that full court trap insert set. So happy to add that one. Again, not an expensive card. And then this is the card that I'm moving on to, the great Josh Dawson. As you can see up here, it is a pop 1. There are only 2 graded higher than this PSA 8 you're looking at. This card is the 1998 Upper Deck MJX Timepieces Gold number 107. This card is serial numbered to 23, and it is die cut. I don't collect these cards. There are super collectors out there that make me look like a peasant, a dumpster diver, a sewer dweller, and Josh is one of those types of collectors. And so he's looking to put together, the impossible, the unimaginable. He is trying to be and retain, and I got to check and see where he's at. He's either number 1 or 2 on the Michael Jordan PSA set registry master list. And so hopefully this card, which I'm moving along to him, will help him take another step closer on that PSA set registry master list. If you don't know what the PSA set registry is, go check it out. I don't mess with it because it's just a lot of work. And I collect a lot of cards in BGS slabs, to be quite honest with you. But those who do compete for the lead on that are real, legitimate, big-time collectors, like next-level stuff, people. So go check out the PSA set registry. Just get in there and fool around and mess with it. Just go Google it. You'll find it. It's not hard to find. It's basically a way to track down all the Michael Jordan cards or certain types of, player sets and cards. It's not just Michael Jordan. They got, set registries for all sorts of things. But it's a way to measure yourself against the competition in the hobby and make the hobby more interesting. It's part of the reason why PSA has a stranglehold on the industry, because a lot of people really do, especially vintage collectors and a little bit older collectors, really care about those set registry lists and the competition that goes with it and trying to upgrade. And that's how they track and kind of compare their sets and player collections in their collection. So check out the PSA set registry if you haven't had a chance to do that. Again, it's not my cup of tea. It's not how I do it. I have my own, path that I'm forging, but it's a big deal. But this card, as you can see, is serial numbered right here. If you zoom in, number 19 out of 23. You got Scotty Burrell in the background. You got the great PJ Brown from Louisiana Tech. You got Georgetown's Alonzo Mourning, one of the great Georgetown centers. You got the UTEP two-step Tim Hardaway right here. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s dad. I can't tell who this is behind Jordan. What year is this? 98. It could be Kukoc. Looks like he's got blonde hair, though. Maybe a Judd Bushler. I don't know if he was still on the team then. And then I can't tell here, but it looks like a 9 on his jersey, so I'm going to guess that's Dennis Rodman. But that's the Upper Deck MJ timepieces that is no longer going to be mine by the time you watch this video. I've moved it on for fair market value to my friend Josh to help him along. And then the card that I'm probably most excited about is the 1993 Stadium Club Beam Team members only. This is the forgotten child of the Beam teams, right? You got the 92, 93, and I think 95, correct, which is the die-cut, real vibrant, colorful one that I really like. But this one features Jordan Yaman right over the great Kendall Gill, who was a really fun player to play on NBA Jam. The Charlotte Hornets teams were always really fun to play. I usually took Kendall Gill because he was a beast on defense, notwithstanding this picture where he's watching MJ do whatever he wants. But this is the Beam Team members only parallel, so a little bit more rare. It is only a PSA 8, but I've got my 93 Beam Team collection pulled up over here. Again, I've got the 1993 Beam Team in 9.5 members only, which is a Pop 2. That's a pretty unique card. I do have that one on hold for Zach that I am going to pass along, but I don't like giving up a Pop 2 Beam Team card, but I may have to renegotiate that one with Zach. I forgot that it was only Pop 2. And then I've also got the PSA 10 right below it right here, which is just the regular Beam Team. So that's the regular Beam Team PSA 10, the Beam Team members only BGS 9.5. And then I've got the regular Beam Team 8, and then the Beam Team members only 8, which we're looking at here today. And that's it. That's the last card on the list. There's the back of the Beam Team cards. The back of the Beam Team cards are really cool looking as well. You guys should always flip them over and check it out. They're pretty interesting with the different fonts and the vibrant colors and whatnot. But I like that Beam Team. People forget about that card. I think it's a great pose. Of course, the 92 and 95 are both also fantastic. But three different Beam Teams with 3 Beam Team members only parallels for Michael Jordan. So 6 total if you want to collect all the Michael Jordan Beam Teams. There's also, I think, like a tri-picture Beam Team, but as far as solo Beam Teams, I think there's those 3. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I think it's just those 3. So that's it. PSA 8s everywhere. One of them is out the door. The timepieces gold is gone. So the 93 Beam Team, the full court trap, the intense emotion 1994 emotion intense Jordan PSA 8, and then 2 refractors from the great Topps finest sets, and then the 1995 scoring magnets to give me 4 total scoring magnets, including the 10 and the 9.5. So that's it, guys. That's it for this mail day. That was mail day number 71. Hopefully you guys like these mail days. I think the views are actually going up. As I post more affordable cards, the views are going up on all my videos. So I think that's an indication that more and more people are liking to watch Jordan content that involves cards that are attainable. Obtainable, attainable, affordable, on a budget, because for a few years there, Jordan ran away from us, even from me, and there were cards that I was like, well, I guess I missed the boat on that one. I never thought I would get certain Jordan cards, but some of them have come back to the field and have kind of dropped into an affordable range, especially these lower PSA 7, 8s, even some 9s, and even some 10s have come back to, 3-figure, 4-figure cards, to where we can, low 4-figure cards, so where you can jump in on any budget. A lot of the people I think that were collecting, flipping and buying short-term NFL quarterback RPAs are now looking into Jordan because it's a little more stable. It's interesting. It's fascinating. And I think it's the Jordan market in the world of Michael Jordan basketball collecting is converting a lot of what were investors into either hybrid investor collectors or collectors, where they just want to kind of grow their collection and see where it takes them. But I don't think there's a safer place to put your money in the sports card hobby than Michael Jordan. You can say Tom Brady, you can say Mickey Mantle, you can say Babe Ruth, you can say any vintage baseball or any vintage football. But Michael Jordan is about as damn safe as it gets because he kind of links, 60-year-olds remember Jordan. 20-year-olds have heard legendary stories about Jordan, even though they never watched him play a game. So I think he is, in a unique space space in our hobby to where he appeals and transcends generations. And for that reason, I think these lower end affordable Jordan cards are really appealing to you guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. Again, I'm still chasing very high end stuff, and I'm in the process of chasing a very high end card. But I have never had more fun than I am having right now, looking at the cards that I'm putting into my collection on these mail days that I am blessed and lucky and fortunate enough to share with you guys. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Again, hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet. Hit the bell icon so you know when new videos drop. I'm dropping 7 to 9 videos a week. Yes, there's 7 days in a week, and I'm dropping 7 to 9 videos a week. So stay tuned, keep in tune, and hit that bell icon so you know when new ones drop. Thanks as always. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.